was saying him say in fact enche na in fact 2028 the abawia anesa na him say NPP for ebecome primaries just the hot one and I said the hottest one on fire Canada Japan and also ura compreko on the vice president and I know under the former vice president Michele ura Mamudu Bawumia and ABC akani titiru pa don't work on de and as afu because no so me no de no I say ija any the spokesperson any campaign no make a spokesperson lawyer Kwesi Kwarteng ababidin komo on 2 TV so na nessa mo kan so we breaking name be down wa man analysis be dinti a ense so John can say Mamudu Bawumia or some people so presenting for the second time if you say watch him from I can say JJ Pencil dinti on ko for sanya akonya no ko biem dinti na nado dan ko for do so ni atamos ko ye na se bi atamos free mu no ono John Domani mama be ko yo sanso nya akonya no ko biem ni na ne say na o lead in the comfortable leader na so margins bia na yes no ko de mabuzia lawyer Kwesi Kwarteng the graph number wa chirinsem mu na ano odene na dosi huru Dr. Bawumia na buzia yemu wuram na yenkokuti san komo no mreba ya bejibe ne di nkomo hi NJ gossip be patch first time near subscribe to the channel no watch the video no ma fofo so timi anya bi no abomodin edo adwenkyera to me comment section mejebre na ma kenkan ni na ade ama yemu wuram mrazisia
no ono so ekoy no nya 2.83 million votes representing 39.67%. And we share President Kofodi and Professor Duba he votes no from 30% the coin 39%. It was about 9% na ede aka ho. Into the 9% the can ho. Ono kwani votes difference President Rollins at the beating years 1.2 million. So the first one Duba 1.1, President Kofo 1.2. Even though no voice difference in terms of the percentage, no the BI appreciate it. In the graph now, in MPP near graph no kwa na ekosro ma fa 30 or the 39 tie drew be ha ye hwe Akufo ado so be in President Kofo nya 39 no then obi a wa fa free from the kosro no o ka tell say o man nyede enkobio and then penifo say amfo na e chene nto aso ko papa no bo modern afa o to ano so obi abehun say ene ye de ne kwanimu. And sir, the president who for in a second time no ede who we need the 2000 ede about power no be 7 8 years we 7 8 years the good thing is not president who for the nyakwanya as everyone amum. But you see context is very important. The highest officer na president who for the nyakwanya as everyone president who for administration was the minister of state. Or the 2 ministers, okay. But who has Attorney General and Foreign Affairs?
Yes.
No, I'm a vice president. And this was in a space of 8 years. Patrol emphasis should be on this. This was in a space of the 8 years. Foreign Affairs is not a ministry of my project. Because Sabra ina black one abe say na black one reduce standard no na black one abe say na ukra medium ukra nya dey diplomacy language you nya kwanya kan ba de bi adanam. Secondly, Attorney General and then ba ko madam mveze ni wa apa yi so na yanko the papa ya try our public and no media and the media and no na
even especially we share baby a obenya baby obedi ni positions obedi die na wo de no kra to nchen ya sabre no na media no enye bebre se ende kra na o kasa ekọ baby a ene o kasa edru Ghana baby
ma men kasa mo nchiro o mo se o ye time media na party ni hwan in 2008 na party ni hwan hizizi we as BBC near friend global economic recession. We go 2008. Oko America, more economy crowd they crash. Certain governments all over the world lost. One more time, crowd they say factories and companies were declaring bankruptcy. Am I affected the developing economies like us? Ours, yes. Mekako for crowd call say he's the worst leader this country has ever had. Now some for catch on was prosperity with Jadas. Okay, Sabra mo to nimso mo fe na 10 yi ni ade obi wi Ghana ska nyina na yakukwa hikrazizi and that's they crowd they say because the covid in tinkofo be hu ye mobo at that time there was no covid, it was a man-made artificial global recession
time obe free omo ko contest no omo ko primary no ka say omo 2 days say akronfo dun so it is that time
yeah why
he's akronfo
why but when even in spite of that, the President Akufo-Addo was able to put this performance 49.13 from 39 to 49. Now back to 2024 with President, former Vice President, Dr. Bawumia. Dr. Bawumia Baye no, me expect to say, because of the history of ascension, the trend no kono so betim dia dey akosoro. Obaye no, contrary to what we all expected no. President Akufo-Addo votes na newo 6.7 million no. One over we nya 4.65%. Into obete 49.13%, no so about 41.61%. When you dey nationally, it shows that nationally Dr. Bawumia eti Akufo-Addo votes no nyina na performance no by 30%. What about the southern regions or so by 33%? Even in terms of North, rather compared to 2020, or so by a whooping 16%. And we share votes difference now. The votes difference was 1.67 million votes difference. And to run it up, you are looking at about 1.7 million votes difference. Now let's compare. Let's hear small mathematics. Professor Dubois, the gap was what 1.1. President Akufo, the gap was what 1.2. In the case of Akufo-Addo rather gave the gap of 100,000 because Akufo-Addo only do. So how come say it drew the other about 1.67%? So which means if you draw the graph, it's rather up, down. Opportunity rather they up, down. Now, as I'm the
graph no so that and somewhere can obia be because one more no ebi epe data pa enti ye head data no afi ye hunu sania etie enti na chese wo hwe ba up down.
Do you know Dr. Bawumia obia de ebi ka ho no ono drop percentage points of 7.52% in Akufo-Addo's first coming. 7.52%. Now to compare 2020 crowd here. In 20, also the first coming was 2016. Exactly. What they compare to 2020 crowd here, or drop what they compare 6.7 million to 4.6 million, or drop around 30%. What they compare to 2020 in the northern parts of the Ghana, Dr. Bawumia area, or drop about 16%. What they compare to the 11 southern regions, or drop about 33%. How do you see it in Huh? How do you say that?
I know
that. Let me say, graph we need to project tibia so that we start explaining. Any of them we can start explaining.
Join us here.
We are Mamini can
also brana behibi. Na fe young koyenim enti baby I will be joining na also brana behibi.
And we share a big data now comparative decline in MPP presidential votes 2020 versus 2024. Exactly. The 2020 Akufo-Addo's best performance because 2016 his performance was good. Okay. But 137 from 137 to 88.
Patrick Yabu Amadi Pradia, the contender no crab at TV so.
Southern also. Southern no more. Southern votes 84.2% for Southern. Yes, still compared to Akufo-Addo, who dropped by 33.1%. And nationally, we drop by 30.8%. I said, I cannot last graph. Last graph, more money.
Graph no emra.
More last graph.
And a dahono.
But you know what I mean when I
my correct. It's a nona a dahono.
And she Osha winner the northern regions, no, and a Swatia a show no. So, okay, very well. And we share the cumulative value now. And our honor, until Akufo-Addo the represent blue, no, and Dr. Bawumia 2024 represent offend say gold color, no.
Gold color, no.
And we share 5 southern regions, no, never national, never northern regions, no. And in all you could see clearly say performance in there. And how do you say young so in a party since our history, no, obi enya more votes, no, obi a predecessor, no. Of every baby and a day. No, the cost. In general, now the buffer the entrance. Who can make us also the factors that affected him, no, and no, those factors, no, and you're known to the part, your 2 tier or no by a 2 tier party, 2020 party. Oh, who can also can Japan did the attempt? Hey, Akufo-Addo, yeah, 2 more Akufo-Addo, make a Japan no the attempt.
Just at a non cassa.
Oh, you see, no more affected, you know. No my affecting any be you may look at a lot of perspective. I don't want to be a better in time along the way. But these are things if you take for instance economy, can you tell me say you as the head of the economic management team, nobody may you went free. Sir, economic debating. Who you who any day? If all good things you lay claim to it, there, why can't we also be responsible? Say, no, maybe so I take money. You can also lay claim to a send also the account. Mami, any random factor you think affected us? Won't mean nipa na no year number 2 in your day. In film. Yes, sir, that will amount to throwing Akufo-Addo under the carpet.
If it is say Okojina takradia or kase or kaise by timer ye babe twaba few days to elections na ya to fu omo ya mona mane and mene pani bi din komo no ka chere me say Dr. Bawumia enim say I mean ye automatic adjustment system e wo Ghana ha as ye tum e wo a year now automatically now reflect e wo Ghana and since anyama we ni obi na be one san wo
sir nkomo na mo ka say minim ho hwe trying to run away from responsibility no that problem more the am say start free tackle it didn't start from tackle baby we have not been bold to talk about it is the UPSA lecture one more year lecture almost the bold solutions so that was where the problem started from. You see that lecture sought to make Bawumia own the good things in the party but normal any biano yes. But you see when you do that it also shows that then party now you know maybe any day it's say Rebecca say we are levy me ye free ho we may ye free ho we may ye free betting tax me ye free ho when ye dey buy na minim ye to petrol na minim no. Let's also look at another alternative. Of course, said Dr. Penny, make me change the one. Exactly. But let's also look at a different form of communication. Mr. Nkunu Mabakacho say, oh, sa no ma wo kanyina no ampa ye said the ahoche any yaude kakra de aba. But the beer COVID see about seven what the Ghana Education Service alone about 350,000 teachers. On me adwuma for be afe you twa mo ka so bia anya adwuma da a obi atifie for be afia obi anko adwuma so twa neka fa nsu a ye change free for hospitals ye change ye fa nkania nti de ahoche kakra ye de ebre ye nya nkwa wiase nyina nti ampa mo asoma mo kasa ahoche aban betting tax ye levy ni ade aban ampa me gitum say ahoche ye de aba na mum I take responsibility for it as a leader misaji tu susu say mo asoma mo ka no say de chodo me ne mo yadwe na mum sese no sese na de baaye no eso aye de awo eso abanfa so sese no hwe the economic trajectory eno ma ye de efefe eno ma ye nti nyankopon pa the next subsequent year mo to aboma me aye de ebesesa we ye so say Ghana for ntiase
aka ye simple
Ghana for ntiase
say do baby krobi sa se me yes adwuma we nyi me ba den na me
okay president Kofo o share boss president Kofo share boss o be so o ma enko yi no Ghana for say wo tie kira ye different forms of wago prama na dey eso timo fine cheme. That's how Ghanaians are. They just want to see you to be honest, to respect them, to understand their feelings, and then you appeal to them and they talk to you. That's how we are there. But I say, oh, you leave video cracka or mentia or munini. Menkaho, no munini. Assembling na. So I mean, in ending with a second chance conversation, one thing you also have to note, and they say 2020 is going to be tough for 2028 is going to be tough for us. Let me give you a scenario and if we during day in 2020 President Mahama called elections with President Akufo-Addo. So okay, no truly President Akufo-Addo with 500 no truly Akufo-Addo with 1 million votes difference. Because 2016 Akufo-Addo share with 1 million votes. Yes. President Mahama called elections Adia President Mahama you election but you see a man in a space of 72 hours to declare. You also on election when you're there lose one call winning. You can be assessing you also more comfortable lead. No lead with 148 seats, members of parliament seats. And yeah, 148. There's one near press conference. Anybody was up 137. Yes. Now for 1 million, what chemu to 500,000. Experience and no. I don't sit here to praise him
because he was protecting his people, making sure
that is a trademark of every great leader. That in spite of one casa you also look at other people, and that is how trees are. Because the beauty in planting trees is even when in your absence it can provide shades for the rest of the people. 40 years 40 years that was President Mahama's foresight to
page party no every this data abysmal performance obetimi aba be pager e de akọ nanim e wo soro. And why Canada Japan for 2028?
You see, 2028 is not even about the political parties. 2028 is about individuals.
Who see the pain?
Yes. 2028 is not about political parties. It's about individuals. And Ghanaians are just looking at trust and credibility and the remarkable track record of the individuals coming on board. 2028, NDC is presenting a new face. It is constitutionally bad.
It's simple.
They won't come home. Baby. And I'm not sure so Bibia said who needs our and I mean the predominant faces are and look at how even the NDC has been strategic. You see, no matter how we may want to polish it, let's also understand say we are people of tribe, we are people of culture, we are people of religion. Omaya team no basis mako hatua emu 99 ya bompa se nyankopo nyi oshenkani ni free shen na de echi na nyame na magisi ane ye de enka she no me mete ha na mete he me kohu me nua bai be na ka jese no ho fa obi so de ai she ti o ka jese me nua bese me waro aso o ka jese openi don't waste my time na enye de enye yi umare kuntia o be ka se mabusuafo enye de empene pedufo empene ono so nkrofo enye de muslimifo enye de empene. So those are factors that really affect us. It affects in every decision making that we are, including election on religion that affects us. Again, you have a bit to say even on matters of beer, tribalism and regional even balance. Now you are to about MPP before catcher say President Kufuor free sin region there. Almost an election in a day, increasing region. Flag bearers from Kubi. One time before Mokai Bay debate to face. Yeah, then this is also most what Ghana ha catcher ya say, hey, Ghana for the yeah, to Obama, somebody from the northern part of Ghana, Kuyana and Sanya and Kubi, Omon Kansawa, on TV.
Oh, Dr. Bawumia Nampone.
Oh, okay. So what was our record?
I have it.
Very well. And to say, if there is a one thing even we have to look at it is also being strategic. In politics is about strategy.
Exactly.
One we almost say, oh, MPP for the Mumpe Northerners are 17 maybe more Mumpe more than northern candidates. Very weak argument.
No.
It way and someone lawyer Kwesi Kwarteng ababidi anasen koma ababidi our dia trouble nti de osi Canada na ochiremwa yenhwe enim ten na yemfa owura kan se Canada Japan akompreko yemfa ne nko na o se mo amone na ma mo se owura Canada entimi nka brofo enkyere IMF no o se muina mu weak leaders munye focus leaders because brofo ne de kwa nko bi akọ mudin a anka abamu adwuma kan ko so munya biye de eje ne mo se owura Canada Japan man of vision o maka se nipa bi a o wani so de hunu na o fie nyansa so ye de eka ho ba ni na mu no wa chirem sa tribalism na ye no not in a negative manner but in a positive way no e boa abato we nkoma papa ababedi me do besi a baba modern so first time no subscribe to the channel. I'm not share video number for to me enyebi na fesusu no odo adwenkyira betum comment section ma je black and kind na adama adama makrao.